Hello and thank you for watching Access Asia here on France 24. Coming up, the world's biggest vaccine producer is running out of COVID-19 jabs for its own people. India halts exports to meet internal demand. Meanwhile, New Delhi slums have largely been spared in the pandemic. Experts suspect that the residents may have developed unusually strong immune systems. And the Red Dragon goes to the Red Planet. China joins the United States as the only other country with rovers exploring Mars, ratcheting up the space race. Well, COVID-19 vaccine rollouts are accelerating in many parts of the world. In one of the worst hit countries, India, the effort is slowing down. Despite being the world's biggest producer of vaccines, the country is suffering an internal shortage and has placed a temporary hold on all exports to meet domestic demand. Our team on the ground reports.
For Anupam Chauhan, finding a slot to get vaccinated has become a daily struggle. For weeks now, this advertising executive has been trying to get an appointment on the Indian government's vaccination site.
It's all booked for today, and then from 22nd onwards, there are no slots. It's just a matter of when will I get it. Till that time, I don't think it is going to be a very comfortable time.
As coronavirus cases surged, the Indian government expanded its vaccination program in early May. All those above the age of 18 can now get vaccinated. That's 900 million people. As a result, the demand for vaccines has exploded, and India, the world's top vaccine producer, doesn't have enough of them. In New Delhi, several vaccination centers have had to close doors, and those that remain open are struggling. AstraZeneca and Covaxin, the two vaccines available in India, are being rationed. This center only has 200 doses remaining.
We've been ordered to vaccinate the 45-plus age group only. For now, it's been stopped for the 18 to 44-year-olds.
This shortage doesn't seem to have affected private hospitals, who can negotiate directly with vaccine producers and have also tied up with companies organizing vaccination camps for their employees.
We can get our first shot because of work. No one here has managed to book a slot.
I feel lucky. We're avoiding crowded hospitals and can stop running around to get a vaccine.
Among the few privileged ones, I can say.
Each dose costs between 10 to 15 euros, and for a majority of Indians who depend on free vaccines at government hospitals, this is unaffordable. With the arrival of the Russian vaccine Sputnik, the Indian government hopes that the vaccination campaign can gather steam. Barely 3% of Indians have received both doses. At this rate, it will take 2 to 3 years to immunize the country's 1.3 billion people.
And while India has set global records for daily cases, one area has defied that trend: the incredibly densely packed slums of New Delhi. Karis Garland explains why.
In this New Delhi slum, 8,000 people live cramped together. Social distancing is impossible. Hygiene is lacking. Still, its residents have made a striking observation. COVID-19 seems practically inexistent here.
Around here on our street, there's not a single case.
It's true that there are many of us here, but there is no COVID.
While India has been hit hard by a second wave of the virus, it appears to be largely sparing the country's most disadvantaged neighborhoods. The capital's hospitals may be overwhelmed, but Dr. Kumar's small clinic, where he treats slum dwellers for free, is empty.
This is where my patients normally wait.
The rare patients who come here with COVID symptoms are from better-off neighborhoods.
It's the people from the other neighborhoods who have real homes that come here with COVID. In the slums, I'm not seeing it.
How to explain the resilience? This researcher studies antibodies in people living in slums. She says the virus is indeed circulating here even faster than elsewhere, but residents seem to tolerate it better thanks to more robust immune systems.
Probably because they are staying in these areas where they are already exposed to so many types of viruses and bacteria right from the childhood. They have some immunity that might be making them safer from the severity of the disease. Though they have infection, they have mild to moderate kind of infection.
Seeing stronger immunity inside the slums is unsurprising for this French economist who specialises in social inequalities.
There are large slums in African capitals such as Nairobi in Kenya, where there have been practically no deaths. We think that's for similar reasons, such as the fact the population on average is young, and also because of a really heightened immune system.
For now, India has no nationwide studies on the social origins of COVID patients, but data collected in Mumbai shows that just one sick person in 10 lives in a slum.
Well, the Tokyo Olympics may be weeks away, but some stadiums are already crowded. Japan opened its first mass inoculation centers in Tokyo and Osaka, expected to vaccinate thousands of people every day. And the country is in a race to vaccinate most of its elderly population before the games begin in July. But some say the push has come too late to halt a fourth wave of COVID-19 infections. Well, China is sometimes referred to as the world's factory, and commentators have wondered whether the country will grow old before it grows rich. The latest census reignited this long-running debate, and results showed that the population is aging and declining, seeing its slowest growth in decades. Delana D'Souza reports.
It's an uncertain future for the second most powerful economy on Earth. With an aging population on the rise, attention in China is shifting to the country's retirees. Here, a group of influencers known as the fashion grandmas practice for a runway show to connect with the elderly.
When I see myself on video, I can see there's a lot to improve and it's a bit embarrassing. But I'm excited. We have so many fans. We already have over 7 million followers. So on top of being excited, I also feel needed.
264 million people, or roughly 18% of China's population, are over the age of 60. The city of Rugao, some 200 kilometers from Shanghai, is home to over 500 centenarians. The elderly are celebrated with pride, statues, and even subsidies. Regardless of their age, retirees here pride themselves on being technologically savvy and well-informed.
I write poetry. I read books and newspapers. I watch the news every day.
China's seniors are living even longer, and by 2050 will increase to nearly a third of the total population.
I'm 101. My health is good. I'm happy.
Senior citizens in China represent a huge economic opportunity. The so-called gray-haired economy is estimated to reach nearly $900 billion this year, and there's growing demand for travel, health services, and even online shopping.
The elderly nowadays are different. We are exposed to many things and are willing to learn. Young people assume we know nothing, but that's incorrect. It's wrong. Actually, the elderly want to learn and are willing to adapt.
The retirement age in China is 60 for men and 55 for women. But Beijing has already announced its intention to reform birth control policies and postpone retirement.
Well, from democracy to dictatorship, capitalism to communism, if Earth isn't big enough for the United States and China, maybe Mars will be. The two superpowers have taken their fight for supremacy to the red planet. They are the only countries to have rovers currently exploring Mars. Peter O'Brien has more on the space race.
NASA's Perseverance and Curiosity rovers have a strange new bedfellow. Zhurong, China's own rover, has just rolled off its landing platform and onto the Martian dust.
全世界能够做到绕落巡一次完成的就是我们，能够在火星上活得好好的，又能开展工作的，我们是第二个。
The US president's nomination for NASA's second-in-command has concerns about the warp speed progress of China's space program.
China has made their goals very clear to take away space superiority from the United States. So we are right to be concerned.
Since the first space race, China has come a long way playing catch-up. 2 years ago, it became the first country to land a probe on the far side of the moon. And last month, China launched the first module of what it intends to be a crewed orbital station to rival the International Space Station. The grand prize, meanwhile, feels like a rerun of the original.
On the last moon mission of the NASA.
The US is aiming to land humans on the moon in 3 years' time after its last astronauts left in 1972, while China wants to set foot there for the first time and is even working with Russia on plans to set up a lunar base.
And we end in the Philippines, where we'd like you to meet Percival R. Lugay. This gentle 50-year-old man is the world record holder for the largest collection of fast food toys. He even had to build his home especially to house the collection. Now, Percival's dream is to one day open a museum to give others, quote, a chance to revisit their own childhood memories. One of Percival's most treasured pieces is Heady Spaghetti, a figurine from the Filipino chain Jollibee. Take a listen.
So this is Heady Spaghetti. I think I got this around 1988. As you can see, it's been a long time, but if you really take good care of the toy, it's gonna maintain its pristine condition. Now, what makes this so special is the fact that when I got this, I was together with my mother, whom I love so much and who is very supportive of my collection.
Well, that's it for this edition. Thank you for watching, and please stay tuned to France 24.